Final 10 minutes of Central. The hit and run is on. All eyes were on Shohei Ohtani. 4 innings, no runs, also 6 walks. I feel like we're a broken record when we ask this. How do they maximize Shohei Ohtani? How do they use him? Where are you at right now, mid-April?
Well, you know what? We're doing that now. We've done it last year. We did it the year before, and we're going to do it 3 or 4 more years in the future, I believe. I think this storyline's not going to go away.
Will it be successful?
What is the best? You know, I haven't seen him really do both.
Fair.
Yet. Past his rookie year, and he won rookie of the year because I think he pitched enough and he hit enough to do that. But after that, it's just been kind of this big question mark all the way around. And I'm still going back on the Dan O'Dowd theory of a 1-inning guy. I think that's the best spot for this guy, to be a 1-inning guy late in the game. DH him. I'd love to see him go bridge early in the game.
Yeah.
Walk from the dugout in the 8th inning out to the bullpen, get lathered up, walk back in the 9th and close it out. That's what I would like to see him do.
I like that idea from Dan O'Dowd. Let's stay in Southern California and let's talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers, who get a win against the Seattle Mariners yesterday, 1-0. Kenley Jansen closing it out, his 14th save in a 1-0 game. And he hit 95, 97
right
on the gun, which, look, velocity is what it is, but in his case, in this particular case, I think that's significant. What do you think?
Did you just see that one, though?
Yeah.
I mean, that was almost very wiffle ball-like, where there was holes in half the ball and the air just pushed it over to the side. So when you talk about Kenley Jansen, I'm not a believer that velocity is the end-all, be-all. In his case, he's got to have enough velocity, which means there's finish when he gets that little cut ball. And when he was throwing those things the other day, it wasn't necessarily dot slider spinning, just cutting across on the hitter because he's got some life in his arm. You know, Mariano Rivera could get away with throwing 92, 93 because he had mastered the art. It was a cutter coming every pitch, you knew it. But the deception was there's nothing to pick up. You just knew it, and sometimes you cut a little bit more, and then when Mo added a little two-seamer every now and then it just made it unfair. But this guy can go out there because he did it before with like the one pitch, was very Mo-like. I'm not putting him in Mo's category, but what I'm saying, when you can go out there with one pitch and get it done like he did, he needs a little bit of that velocity back to have the life in the arm to get it done.
Are you a believer in the Red Sox? We're talking long-term, exceeding the expectations of many early on. We're not just talking about beating any pitchers. It's Giolito, it's Ryu. You're kind of teetering.
I mean, I'd like to see the pitching kind of get a little bit more, what I would say, solidified to begin with. Chris Sale out there somewhere. He's been throwing a little bit and everything else. Don't know when that return's going to come back. That would be a boost. But when I looked at him prior to the season, I thought about an offense that could be a little bit of a sleeper. Nobody's talking about the Red Sox. But I think the left side of the infield between Devers and Bogarts is really good. JD Martinez right now is just on fire. I think Verdugo was a nice addition to that club right there. So I think they have enough pieces on the offensive side to do some things pretty nice offensively. So I'd still got to give me more time on looking at this pitching staff and seeing how it develops over time. But I like the offense, I really do.
Let's talk about Freddie Freeman. He had these comments before yesterday's game in the Bronx against the New York Yankees on his contract discussions. And remember, he's a free agent at the end of this season. Quote, "I don't know if we could really even talk right now. That would be a distraction, and I don't like distractions. I don't think there is going to be much talking anytime soon." So you have those comments, but Bill, I think about the Braves and what this guy means to that franchise, what he has done, and how long he's been there. Why weren't those discussions had in the offseason?
Yeah,
it's too late now. I agree with him. It's too late.
And now you run the risk I don't think it's too late, though.
I mean, now you run the risk of him hitting free agency, and then what happens?
Yeah, I mean, the questions are, I don't know why it's taking so long, because I look at him as Mr. Brave.
Yep.
It's every bit of what Chipper Jones
100%.
was to the Atlanta Braves. This dude is real, just won the MVP. He plays every day. We talked about Jose Abreu with what he means to the White Sox. This guy posts every single day. But I gotta believe, though, if you're Freddie Freeman and I'm Freddie Freeman's rep, I'm having conversation. I'm just not telling Freddie. I don't want to distract him either.
You can do that.
So, and you know what? If you come to Freddie and say, Freddie, they just offered you $350 million. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's not a distraction. Freddie goes like this. Okay, Freddie Freeman writes his name down on a piece of paper, and he goes and plays.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a way to get it done. I think he's clearly a little bit frustrated, probably a little bit disappointed in the situation. But I still think I can't picture Freddie Freeman wearing a different uniform.
Neither can I.
Cannot do it.
They keep trying to offer Robert $10 million a year.
I know, and I'm like,
season.
look, I'm focused.
Stop.
I'm working
focused
on
here.
my show right now.
Right,
Robert.
I'm working on the bumps and the pitch hand. I don't have time for that.
Your team is in Colorado, and the weather is 30-ish degrees. That's like right up your alley. You kidding me?
Yeah, well, don't try this. For some reason, you've cracked the whip because I've been out here a couple times this year. And balmy is the way I describe the studio right now. So, look, don't get me wrong. I don't like playing in that weather. But if you're going to be doing some TV, and I don't have too much stuff up here to like absorb any sort of moisture if I start sweating pills, I don't want to sweat pills.